My dear friends, good evening. This is our 35th day for the meditation, and we will keep doing and doing until it's reopened. And I hope that after this more than 1 month, that somehow you can get the test of meditation and has some improvement. And okay, so today we're going to keep practice what we have learned about the meditation, and I will kind of direct you step by step. And today we're going to focus on the strongest sensation in your body. Probably I will skip the scanning the sensation in your body from the top to the bottom and the bottom to the top. But after the breathing, counting the breathing, and we will go directly to this kind of the sensation here to be the very strong and sometimes unbearable area. Okay, and for example, you feel like in your neck or in your back or in your hip, you feel hurt, especially numbness on your leg. Most people have that one. So then you should focus on that. Of course, one of the students told me that because that's a surgery, and so he cannot bear with that pain, the feeling of pain. I said, then you should stop it, because you don't want to kill yourself. So basically it's you can bear, endure with to that extent that you can endure the pain, and then you go there. My own experience is that it depends really. Like I have the congestion in the heart. When I went to days vipassana meditation and almost couldn't breathe. I know it's not really like a physical injury. I know it's functional. So I told you before that I thought I was going to die, because I couldn't breathe. But I told myself, well, if I die on the cushion, it will be honor. That's my thought. Anyway, I was so focused on the congestion, the area, and then use my mind like a acupuncture needle. Okay, focus on that. Just see where exactly it got blocked. And then after one day, then, it just loose up, kind of penetrate. You feel the air. There was something like an air, and then penetrated from your heart on your left and to your, right shoulder in the back. The other one was before I was a nun, I have stomach, ulcer. So when you are hungry, then you got kind of a, hurt. You feel pain. So I remember I was started doing meditation, and then it hurt again. So I was just kind of concentrate on my stomach area. Okay, keep concentrate and start to make an analysis. Say, okay, where exactly? It's right or left? It's above or it's beneath? Where exactly the pinpoint, pinpointed. I will try to find the location. I feel, frankly, I couldn't find it because it seems like moving. The secondly, I want to make an analysis. What does it mean about pain? It's like in my muscle, or in my nerve, or in my bone. Of course, on here is a bone. Stomach has no bone. So I was trying to find exactly where is it. Yeah, and then it was gone. And for a while, interesting, I never have to fear that, pain anymore. But of course, when I doing, some examination that the doctor still say, I can see you have kind of scar, on your stomach. So, but I want to tell you that meditation is only for it's a kind of maintain your health. I won't tell you that it's the cure of disease. Okay, so if you have some big problem and then it occurs, you should go to see the doctor. I'm not recommending that all the disease can be cured by meditation. Okay, that's a wrong statement. Okay, and so now when after we sit and then you go to, for example, if you feel in your back, it's a pain, and don't run away. Sometimes I feel like the sensation of hurt. It's kind of, some people maybe don't like it. It's more like delusion. Yeah. It's in that sense, you really encounter them and focus on that. Sometimes it kind of resolve, like melting out off. But if that was really injured, I don't think that would just go away. Okay, so you have to take kind of consideration yourself. So okay, that is what I mean about the sensation. You do the emptiness analysis, especially when your leg you feel numb on your leg, and how can you sit for like an hour? This is most of our students when they come to meditation, the first thing they encounter is, oh, my leg feel numb. Okay. Of course, before the meditation, if you do enough stretch exercise, if your muscle have that ability, it tend to be much better. But if you lack of exercise, that means the blood circulation or the energy circulation is not very smoothly in your bodies, then you feel hurt. Okay. So now let's start our meditation, and then today, after the meditation, I will answer those questions from Lina's class. Okay. So again, sit on a cushion, never sit on a cold marble floor or a cold wood floor, and never sit on the sofa, soft sofa. It's no good. You need to have a hard floor and not cold. So put a cushion, or blanket on the floor and sit a higher cushion. If you are really tall, I saw some of our Western kids is very tall, like more than 6 feet. So one cushion is not enough. So always provide a more cushion for their cross leg. Okay? Okay, so body, breath, mind. Body started from feet. Your feet. Sit on the cushion. Back relaxed. Upright. And your both hands touch. Thumbs slightly touched. No tension. Okay? And now circulate your body clockwise, counterclockwise. Make sure you sit stable, and then also loop up your muscle, your joint. You feel the whole body is very relaxed. Open up your shoulder. You can backwards and forwards, moving. Okay, open up. Pull your chins in, not up, not down. Okay, horizontally. Now, breathe out the impure air, breath from your mouth 3 times, and close your mouth to keep the clean air in your mouth. So, okay, now close your mouth and your tongue slightly touched, upper teeth. And now with the closed. Now let's check your posture according to 7-step, Vajrayana. Feet, back, hands, shoulder, chin, tongue, and eyes. Now, bring your mind to your meditation hall, your temple. That is the area of your nostril. That is your temple. That is your meditation hall. Like a sanctuary place. 道场. Started breathing in, breathing out. Only count when you're breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you can count from 1 to 10 without distracted, that means that you have enough concentration. Now let's follow the breathing. Do not manipulate it, just knowing that the air comes in through your nostril. 吸入. Knowing that the air comes out from your nose. 知吸出. Now you feel like you're living in only breathing an inside world, cut off from outside. So 知习变身. So the old breathing, the air full of your body. Remember, all your attention is on your nostril only. Remember, the breath, subtle, finer is better. Do not manipulate the breathing, but just observing. Okay, today we're going to practice, review that focus on sensation on your body. Which sensation make you feel the stress? Sometimes could be uncomfortable. Pain, hurt. Okay, go that area. Just like you are watching a bunch of naughty kids play. They make a noisy action and bother you, so you go there and watch them. Make sure that you are not distracted. If you lose the concentration, just bring back. And you also can do exchangeably. Breathing in, breathing out, follow the breath. Breathing in, breathe, and the vipassana. Observing your sensation can be done exchangeably. Let's do the Metta meditation. Metta means loving kindness. Let's send in our loving kindness prayer and a thought to ourselves, the people we know and we do not know. Extend it to all the sentient beings in this universe. May I be free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering and healthy. May my spouse, partner, and be free from infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May my parents, brothers, and sisters be free from the infection of coronavirus and other diseases, from suffering, and be well and healthy. May all my teachers and students be free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May my bosses, employees, and colleagues free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May all my friends and neighbors free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, from suffering, and be well and healthy. May all the people in this country be free from the infection of coronavirus and disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May all the people in this world be free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. All the sentient beings in this universe free from greed, hatred, and ignorance, suffering, and happy. May all the doctors and nurses, caretakers, personnel be free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. Thank you for their risk, their life, and the effort to save people's life. May all the political leaders be free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from greed, hate, and ignorance, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. We pray for them to have wisdom and a sense of humanity, to adopt proper measures to save lives, create harmonious society and peaceful world. May all the people who die of coronavirus and other disease rest in peace, be reborn in a better, healthier realms. May all the people affected by coronavirus and other disease free from suffering and will receive speedy recovery and be well and healthy. Now let's pay special attention, prayer to the individual. I would like to transfer the merits of meditation to old anonymous heroes who are fighting the battle in this pandemic. Amitofo. Now, let's rub in our hands, cover our eyes, and then forehead, your skull, neck, shoulder, your arm, your back, your thigh, your knees, your legs, your feet. Okay, now let's start it. Our students continue our question, and I kind of answer about, the personal question and social issue. Today, let's talk about Buddhism in China. And, Sophia asked, are there large differences about Buddhism in mainland China, Taiwan? Okay, good question. Okay. Before we talk about this issue, I think that I like to give a very brief background. It's kind of for general public about certain terms. Okay, the first one, I'm going to introduce the term like, Mahayana, Hinayana, Theravada Buddhism, and, Vajrayana, Chinese Buddhism, or Tibetan Buddhism. Okay, so, or northern transmission and southern transmission. Excuse me. Okay, so, we all know about Buddhism in India, and it's about like 500 years ago, before the Common Era. So then later, the Buddha passed away, and then Buddhism started to kind of spread to direction. And in general, we like to say that it go to the north. It's called northern transmission Buddhism. That means from the northern part of India, and then through the Central Asia, and then to Asia, East Asia country. And one is called Southern Transmission Buddhism. From India, the first one is go to Sri Lanka, and from there and go to South Asia, like Burma, Laos, Thailand, and Cambodia. Okay, talk about Vietnam. So we have a northern transmission Buddhism, we have a southern transmission Buddhism, and for a certain time that we call these go to the northern transmission Buddhism, we call it a Mahayana. Yana means like a van, a bus. And then also there was a term called Hinayana, sports car. You only allow 2 people. Okay, small car. So one is a big car, the other one is a small car. What does it mean? The big car you take people, and small car just by yourself. So these 2 terms means one of the teaching focus on to help other people, altruism, to help people, and the other one is more like a self-cultivation, by yourself. So people don't like a Hinayana, they're kind of derogatory, sense. And there was a period that this Mahayana referred to the northern transmission, Buddhism. Because you also find that in this teaching talks a lot about Bodhisattva is someone help a lot of people, Bodhisattva, and very popular. In the Hinayana, maybe you hear so-called Arhat, and focus on meditation. Of course, I think that if you look at the Buddhist scripture, that it did use the term Mahayana and Hinayana. And I think that we should focus on more like the content, meaning not refer to area, okay, and regional. That was, if you look at the sutra, especially like a Lotus Sutra, they did not refer exactly which region is a Hinayana. It's more referred to the mentality, like the Bodhisattva, the Mahayana, and then the Hinayana referred to the Arahat, how practical Buddha. Okay. Anyway, so then we have northern and we have a southern transmission Buddhism, and then northern and southern. Okay, and now you hear Mahayana Buddhism. The Mahayana Buddhism, since it's from, it's a covered area also northern of India and then to Asia and to China. Okay, so these all include Mahayana. And from China, Buddhism is about like a 1st century entered into, China during the Han Dynasty. And from China, it went to Korea around 4th century AD. And then from Korea to Japan, it was around like a 7th century. And these northerns, considered as what we call the Mahayana. And from the China, and went to Tibet, so during the Tang Dynasty. So at that time, that was what we call, so this whole area is called Mahayana area, Mahayana Buddhism area. That is why, I will tell you why, we don't want to use like a Mahayana just refer to Chinese Buddhism, okay? So then, people tend to call, this is Theravada Buddhism. Theravada Buddhism refer to Sri Lanka Buddhism, Burma Buddhism, Cambodia, Laos, and Thailand, and in the South Asia. Okay, we refer to Theravada Buddhism. Theravada means elder school. And but if you call Chinese Buddhism, Korean Buddhism and Japanese Buddhism, they are all affected by China, the Buddhism from China. So I would rather call this, this Buddhism is called Han, H-A-N. It was a kind of a, Han also kind of refer to the majority of, Chinese people. Okay. Han tradition, or sometimes we call the language Kanbun. Kan also means Han, H-A-N. In Japanese, called Kanbun. So I would like to say that the Northeast Asia Buddhism includes Chinese Buddhism, and then Korean Buddhism and Japanese Buddhism, called Han tradition. Han traditional Buddhism. Okay? And okay, now how about Tibet? I don't want the people to call Tibetan Buddhism Chinese Buddhism, because indeed now if you look at so-called the Chinese Buddhism, if you refer to a region that nowadays the China, if you look at the geographic, majority that there has so-called Han tradition Buddhism, but they also include Tibetan Buddhism because a lot of in the Sichuan and Tibet area, they practice Tibetan Buddhism. And in Mongolia also practice so-called Tibetan Buddhism. And in the southwest of China, like Guangxi, Yunnan area, indeed, there was a bunch and a lot of so-called Chinese, but they practice Theravada Buddhism. And now if we look at the Vietnam also is affected by, we call Theravada Buddhism and also Mahayana Buddhism. So Vietnamese Buddhism is quite mixed. You see the way they wear the robe. Okay, now, and then if you call Tibetan Buddhism, but it also in the Mongolia area. So I would suggest the best way to refer to Buddhism will be three traditions. One is Theravada Buddhism. That means from Sri Lanka, Cambodia, Burma, Cambodia, Laos, Thailand. And then you have a so-called Han tradition, other in the majority in the mainland China, and then Korea and Japan. Han tradition Buddhism. Okay. And then Tibetan Buddhism and Mongolia Buddhism, yes, they call Tibetan Buddhism, but we can give them the term called Vajrayana. Vajrayana means, exoteric Buddhism. So if we call Theravada Buddhism, Han Buddhism, and Vajrayana, then you can make it very clear about which, the style of the Buddhism. Okay. Now, so now let's come to mainland China Buddhism and Taiwan. Now I'd like to give you a very brief history of Taiwan. Of course, Taiwan, next to mainland China, and most of the religion, it's all you can trace, the so-called the Buddhism, you can trace back from the mainland China, especially from the south, and not just Buddhism, also folk religion. The two figures are the most popular. We call let's say Taoist religion, folk religion. It's nothing to do with a Taoist philosophy, but more like a Taoist religion. It means a folk religion. Okay. The two figures very popular in China, in Taiwan, are Mazhu and Guangong. Okay, the Mazhu, the goddess, and the Guangong is a historical hero. They are all from mainland China, the origin. Of course, that before, at the end of the Qing Dynasty and up to the end of World War II, there were 50 years that Taiwan was under, the Japan's colonization. So it was affected by so-called Japanese Buddhism. But in general, it's still very similar with the Buddhism from mainland China. So we call Han Buddhism. Okay? So in Taiwan, that people mix with Buddhism, Zen Buddhism, Chan Buddhism, and Pure Land Buddhism, and also Taoist religion. So you see that mixed in everywhere in Taiwan nowadays too. So you see the Maju, and then you also see the Sakyamuni Buddha statue or Avalokitesvara, the Bodhisattva statue in the same temple. No conflict. They get along very well. And let me tell you that in the 1949, that when Chiang Kai-shek, kind of withdrew from mainland China to Taiwan, and at that time, that many of the monks, I believe also his son now, monks from mainland China, withdrew to Taiwan with Chiang Kai-shek. And so now this monk in Taiwan start from then, so that was almost like 70 years ago. During these 70 years, that there was very important things that happened in Taiwan, this island. It's so-called the movement of humanistic Buddhism. Okay, humanistic Buddhism. What does it mean? Or they call living Buddhism. Because it was trying to refute against the idea that Buddhism are somehow too pessimistic and too withdraw and passive, withdraw from the society. So they are the leaders, Buddhist leaders, see that they need to have a reform Buddhism in Taiwan. People like my teacher, Master Xing Yun, and then also, Sheng Yan, Master Sheng Yan, and they also have a bhikkhuni, Zheng Yan, and scholar monk like, Yin Shun, and also has, Wei there was some master in Taiwan. This reform of Buddhism make Taiwan become very precious place for Buddhism to grow, to be, prosperous. And so now if you go to Taiwan, you will see that, Buddhism is very popular, very flourish in Taiwan. Okay, and if you go to Taiwan, you see the corner, there was a temple, big temple, small temple, could be we call Buddhist temple, or we call Taoist temple, or could be Buddhist and Taoist all mixed together. And in mainland China, I was born in Taiwan and educated in Taiwan. And in 1988, I came to United States to study my master's, my PhD here. And I have my PhD in 1996. And before then, I never been in mainland China. So mainland China is very far away and strange to me because I'm not like the generation of my master. So until 1997, that was my first time I went to mainland China. Very interesting. I was there. It's nothing to do with Buddhism. It was because I was selected as a 10 outstanding young person, secular. in the secular world, secular affairs. So then, we went to mainland China to meet so-called the 10 youth, young people in Hangzhou. So that was the first place I went to mainland China. Then, up to 2009, it was 2007, I took it to Woodenfish student, Peter, and they are all Caucasian American. And so we went to mainland China, especially we want to see Dunhuang. Then the second year was 2008. Took another, American student, Tom and Eric. We went to mainland China. So after 2 years, then I decided to move myself to mainland China. And at that time, in my mind, I was thinking about, okay, now I would like to come to mainland China to study religious, the social study, like a social study on Buddhism, without degree. So I moved my Woodenfish programs to mainland China. So I've been there, and then especially I moved there 2014, almost like a full time, I moved to mainland China. So let me share with you that what kind of witness the things in mainland China. Of course, that this is a history. Everybody knows. Well, Buddhism was somehow kind of a decline if you compare with Tang Dynasty or Song dynasties. Come to the Qing Dynasty, people consider, it's more like just for pure land or worship. And then that in the Cultural Revolution, from 1966 to 1976, lots of nuns were forced to disrobe. But in 1980, start from 1980, that layman means Zhao Puchu, Mr. Zhao. Of course, he is also a communist member. Tried to do the reform of Buddhism in mainland China. Okay. And then start with the economical development that you can tell these years, almost these 40 years, that Buddhism is become flourish in mainland China. Many big temple was built. It's amazing. Like you see revival in mainland China. Of course, I think the strength for Buddhism in mainland China and compare with in Taiwan. The first one, Buddhism in mainland China, because all the origin we call Buddhism is all located in mainland China. If you talk about that, the four sacred mountain Puto, Mountain Wutai, Mountain Emei, Mountain Zhouhua, the four, like the sacred mountain, almost like a, kind of a pilgrimage mountain. It's a mountain. And then you also, the birthplace or especially the temple for all the Buddhist patriarchs. It's all in mainland China. So this is a great resources for Buddhism in mainland China. And for Buddhism in Taiwan, we will consider the roots you can trace to mainland China. And that is the linked people, kind of linked together. You know, a lot of Taiwanese Buddhists want to go back to mainland China to see the origin. The other strength of Buddhism in mainland China was because it's a big population and it's the space, the land is so vast. So they built a very giant and big fast of this monastery. Of course, unfortunately, you go to mainland China, you see it's a the monastery, but it's all very new. It's kind of a 20 or 30 years. But this is the strength of for the Buddhism in mainland China. And one of the reasons that this temple can be built so quickly also involved with the government co-op, like a company. Business people, they are thinking about making money out from the temple. Sacred place, historical site, that in mainland China, if you want to build a temple, you only can choose a historical site. That means this place, this site, used to have a temple in history. But in Taiwan, you don't need that. As long as you have land, you can build it, then you can build a new temple. But that is not the case in mainland China. Mainland China, you need to go to dig out from the history. And frankly, that was a lot. Lots of places, And these local government, they try to make out money from this historical site. Why? Because then they set the entrance and for people to pay the admission fee. And then for these businessmen, the big company, what they are doing is they get the land free from the local government. And then they help build the temple, but there was a condition back is they can build a hotel or any retirement house on this property, and they will receive a lot of the benefit and money back from they spend the money on this temple. So you find very, you find amazed, is if you go to the Hunan, one of the temple, it's on the top, almost like in the mountain. Without the money, if you depend on 1 month, it's almost impossible. You need to have the locals, government's, resources to rebuild the temple. Of course, the government will try to get the money back from the tourists. So this is a kind of a tourism and mixed with a Buddhist practice, and then it's also become one of the criticism in Buddhism in the modern China. Okay, so for example, like in Shaolin Temple, now tomorrow we probably go to the Shaolin Temple. That of course, local people, government also put a lot of investment and with some, co-op, the company to rebuild the temple or fix that area. And then they block the area. If any tourists want to go to the temple, they have to pay the admission fee. And the money mostly go to local government and also this company. And small partial, partial money go to the temple. And temple have to do some performance, like Shaolin would be the Shaolin Kung Fu, or like the chanting. So this is a phenomena in the modern, right now. So, okay, now it's 9 o'clock. I think right now it's good to stop. We have not finished this question yet, and I will continue tomorrow. And there I will talk to the next issue that one of the students asked about the Shaolin temple and the Kung Fu with the Buddhism. Okay? This is history, not that much to do with the teaching, but I still hope that you will like it. Okay, I see you tomorrow 8 o'clock and also for the meditation. Good night.